Today, we're reviewing a case study from Coach Corey Wayne, and it's from one of his clients who says he's dating a great girl, but she doesn't knock his socks off. Should he stay or should he go? This particular man has been dating a woman for 7 months, and he mentions how she's a sweet girl, but he's not that attracted to her. If you are someone who you keep dating women where just something's lacking, and you keep finding yourself in situations where you need to rationalize or convince yourself to stay or to leave, this video is for you. Let's break it down because a lot of men struggle with this. Let's see throughout the case study what advice Corey Wayne gives, then I'll give you my advice as well. Because instead of walking away, you don't want to be the guy who tries to convince yourself that she's good enough. So let's talk about the signs that this man is settling and what it really looks like as well when you're not. I'll give some personal anecdotes as well. And with that said, let's give it a watch.
This is my video coaching newsletter, and the topic of today's newsletter is going to be, she's a great girl, but doesn't knock my socks off. Should I stay or go? Well, this particular email, this guy says he's been dating a woman for about 7 months. He says she's a really great girl, treats him awesome, she really likes him. He's pretty sure she wants to be exclusive, but hasn't brought it up yet. However, he's like, she doesn't really knock my socks off. And he wonders if he should stay or he should go. He says he's dated women who are much prettier, much hotter in the past, but he didn't stay with them because they came with too much baggage. But with this particular girl, she's a great woman, but he's not as attracted to her as he was these other women. And so he's kind of wondering, what should I do? So he says, hey, coach, so I'm in a pickle here, and I could really use some advice. I've read your book 4 times, and I'm learning a lot. So I've been seeing this girl for 7 months now, and things are going pretty well with her. She's very loving towards me and always excited to see me and always ready for a round of the indoor Olympics. My problem is, and has been, that I just don't feel I'm that into her as she is into me. Well, you can't make your heart feel something it doesn't feel. Your feelings tend to be your truth. So the question really is she easygoing? Is she easy to get along with? Is she loyal? Is she a good family-oriented girl, especially if you're looking to have kids? Is this somebody that you would want to have children with? Those are the kinds of questions you need to ask. And because if you aren't that into her and you're certain you don't want to have children or a family with her, and you know she kind of wants to be serious with you, then the honorable thing to do as a man is to leave the relationship so they can go find somebody, or she can go find somebody that really feels the same way about her that she does about him.
So let's stop it there for a second. I agree with what Corey's saying, but from what I'm seeing in this case study thus far, this guy's just not that into her. It's a chemistry issue, not necessarily a compatibility issue. We can see that he's rationalizing instead of feeling. He's using logic to justify staying. Well, she's nice, she's loyal, she treats me well, she's a good girl, she's easygoing, great. But there's no emotional conviction. There's no passion that he has for her, right? And with what I teach, there are 2 things that make a relationship work, as most of you know: chemistry and compatibility. Chemistry is the emotional connection between a man and a woman that are physically attracted to each other. And compatibility is the alignment of your beliefs, values, and lifestyle, which makes you able to relate, understand, and bond on a deeper level. But in this case, it seems pretty clear they seem to have similar values, but he's not that into her. He likes her, she's kind of cute, but she's not necessarily his type physically, so he's not feeling that chemistry. Whereas she, as he said, she's really into him. She really likes him, but he's not. And he said he's found other girls more attractive than her. That right there is pretty clear to me that this is not the right woman for him. Because if she was, you'd have both. You'd be able to get along, agree on the important issues on life, right? Marriage, kids, family, faith, where you want to live, culture, whatever happens to be, you're aligned. But at the same time, you would look at her and think she's the most stunning woman I've ever seen, and she feels the same way as you. Oh, he's super handsome. That mutual desire and the shared values would be aligned. This guy doesn't have that. The fact that they've gone together for 7 months and they're not a couple tells you everything. Because usually, from my teachings, what I know, stable women within 4 to 8 weeks of consistent courtship, providing you've vetted and romanced her properly, if there's chemistry, compatibility, no red flags and self-esteem, they want to be your girlfriend. They bring it up themselves, and then you'll get the first I love you, and you should be practically feeling it too. Within that range, a month, month and a half, maybe 2 months of healthy courtship, that's how normal men and women bond if the ingredients are present. The fact that they've been going 7 months and that hasn't happened, but they're still kind of just seeing each other, and obviously They're not a Christian couple, they're sleeping together. It tells me that she's probably staying with him because she really likes him physically, and she's rationalizing why she should stay. I've invested all these months in him. But the fact that she's not brought up the exclusivity talk, I want to have you in a relationship, I love you, tells me that he's obviously not courting or romancing her all the way, and she can probably sense something's off with him, so her heart's not fully opened. Or she has low self esteem, which is another reason why she's staying. Because, newsflash, guys, a normal, healthy woman, if you don't recognize that you're not really feeling it, and she clocks onto it because she's vetting you clearly, after a couple of months, maybe 3, maybe 4 months, a healthy woman who values herself, who knows what she wants, who isn't going to waste her youth on a guy that doesn't want to truly commit to her and be with her, she's walking away. She's not going to waste 7 months or longer just going along with the flow. So this indicates to me as well that this woman has her own problems too, hence why she's staying. She obviously does like him. But let's continue on and see what else we can get from this.
Because the worst thing you can do as a guy is stay with a girl you're not that into and burn up a lot of her good years where she could be with somebody that really loved her and wanted to be with her and have a family with her. So, a lot of guys get in situations like this and they just settle and they stay with the girl, and then they're never really happy. And then they just start to let themselves go and gain weight, and they just settle. And it's just not a nice thing to do to another person if you know you're not into them. I mean, I wrote about that in 3% Man. I had the same issue when I was younger. It didn't feel right. But I was afraid to lose her. I was afraid to be single again. I was afraid I wouldn't meet anybody who was as good to me as she was. She was a great girlfriend, great wife, but something was missing. It was always missing. It just never felt right. And everybody around me told me that I just had cold feet and that would pass. And because I was young and I didn't have enough life experience and I didn't have anybody around me that I could really talk to about it that could give me some good sound advice, I listened to the people that were around me and basically did what they.
And it's interesting, for those of you who don't know Corey Wayne, when he was younger, he actually was married. As he mentioned, he married his ex-wife in his 20s, and he mentions it in his book as well. If you haven't read it, I recommend you do. How he was never feeling it. Like he said there, it was always there from the beginning. He always knew deep down, and I think everybody does. If someone's not right for you, you know. You just rationalize with your insecurities, your lust, your self-esteem problems. You project, and this is the problem. And what is worse is taking advice from people around you who don't have the quality of relationship or marriage that you want. People around you, everyone's getting married, everyone's in a relationship. Oh, you should. And he listened to that, which is mentioned in his book, and he got with his wife, and a year later she would tell him, like, what's wrong with you? Like, why don't you love me? What's wrong? And he just didn't feel it. And this is the end result of what would happen to this client if he stays with this girl. And for you guys, if you're in similar situations, you're just gonna end up hurting the girl because you're not feeling it. I mean, would you want to be with a woman who doesn't really love you? She's dating you because you're okay, you're a sweet guy, but she's not passionate about you. How is that fair for you? It's the same shit, right? Excuse my French. It's not right. It's immoral. It's not fair. Okay? Christ is pretty clear. Do to others as you'd have others do unto us, unto you. And that's the right mindset to approach dating, courtship, romance, marriage. This is how it should be. I mean, Corey's telling the client his own life experience. How, look, I was with the wrong woman and it was just not right. Don't do what I did. And it's very good to listen to that advice. There's wisdom in that.
They did, which was get into a marriage that my heart wasn't into. And after a year, I realized that I just couldn't do it. I couldn't stay. It wasn't the right thing. It didn't feel right. And I had to honor my truth because I realized that I didn't have cold feet. I felt the same way the whole time we were together, and she and I even talked about that. And so after all that expensive wedding and your family and your friends involved, and then a year later you're getting divorced, and everybody wants to know, what happened? You guys are so great together. So learn from my mistakes. You can't make your heart feel something it doesn't feel. And if you're not that into her, I mean, you look at it from the perspective of you had other women you dated you were really way more attracted to and into and maybe had a more passionate sex life with, but they had baggage and shortcomings that just made being with them too difficult, and the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. And so the reality is you just got to keep seeking and searching until you find somebody whose goals and values are aligned with your own. Because the longer you stay with somebody like this that you're not really into, you're wasting her time and you're wasting your own. The only way you can really meet somebody that's the right person for you is to create a space in your life. And right now that space is filled by somebody that you're not that into.
Completely agree with Corey so far. He's giving him very sound advice. I would practically give him the same. It's not right what you're doing. Just walk away. It's unfair. Better now than later. It happens to a lot of couples. They settle, especially a couple like this who's not Christian, or they're sleeping together. What if she gets pregnant? then you just forced him to stay. It's just not worth it. You're already hurting the girl. Don't hurt her anymore. I would just walk away, and let that be a lesson to you guys. This is how most guys settle. He's confusing. He's not inspired by her. There's no. When a woman's feminine and you truly desire her, man, her presence truly brings out the best in you. Your leadership, your desire to provide. You you want to cherish this woman. You want to be loyal to her. But with this girl, he's just kind of coasting. It's just, she's nice, she's good, but there's no emotional intensity. There's no passion there.
He says, but I'm just not crazy about her like I want to be, and truth be told, I'm not that attracted to her. I really want to like her because the truth be told, this is the healthiest relationship I've ever had, and it's really nice for once. Well, I say it all the time, easygoing, easy to get along with, she's got to be nice to you, communicate like an adult. So you got all those things, but you're missing the physical and spiritual and mental attraction that needs to be there.
Yeah, he's settling for comfort. In essence, he likes that she's easygoing. He likes that she's a good woman on paper, but he's mistaken that comfort for connection. There's no mutual chemistry. She's more into him than he is. And I know you get these retard idiots online, red pill idiots, my apologies, red pill retard idiots, who say, oh, the woman should be more into you than you're into her. Or you got the feminists saying the man should be more into you than you're into him, girls. No, it should be mutual. This is what I teach. You should like her just as much as she likes you. And that happens when you truly desire each other. She looks at you and feels lucky to have you, and vice versa. You're each other's type. There's videos on this on my channel, unveiling your type. I talk about this in my book. I talk about this in my school community. All the links are down below, which, by the way, you can get my ebook for free. You don't even have to pay me for it. Get the book for free and see that it works for you. Hey, Corey does it too. You can get his book for free as well. Learn about relationships and see that it works. Like, you don't want to settle. It's pretty simple.
Because again, you can't make your heart feel something it doesn't feel. And I remember what it's like to be with somebody like that. You feel guilty. Because they're so good to you. You think, what, gotta be something wrong with me. Why don't I feel the same way about them that they do me? And in reality, it's just what it really means on a deeper level is your goals and values are just simply not totally aligned. And so the honorable thing to do, like I said earlier, is to let her go so she can find a guy that does get lit up on the inside by her. Obviously, you're not feeling that. And the longer you stay with her, the longer you're going to delay you meeting somebody that does knock your socks off. So I just found it's better to rip it. When you know this, when you feel what you feel, I mean, it's hard because you're like, man, everything else is so great. But if you don't see her as a mother of your children, you're not excited about that, then you need to let her go and go find somebody that does light you up on the inside and somebody you would love to have children and a family with. I've had better looking exes in the past, but they all came with baggage, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't think about my last ex all the time, and that ended a year ago. We're not exclusive yet, but I can tell she wants to be, even though she hasn't brought it up yet. I'm very unsure of what to do, and I don't want to hurt her. Well, that's the thing. If you break up with her, you're going to get waterworks, and it is going to hurt her. And that was another thing that kept me from leaving, is that, because remember one time we were sitting in my car, and she started crying. She's like, why don't you love me? And I was like, I felt awful. Because there was no reason not to, but I just didn't feel what I didn't feel. So I couldn't make myself feel that way. And so I stayed with her thinking, well, I'll be a pleaser. I'll stay with her because I don't want to break her heart. And then, of course...
And I want you guys to just think about what Corey said there. Like, his ex-wife was practically telling him, begging him, crying in the car, why don't you love me? What's wrong? What's missing, basically? How many of you guys have had the inverse happen? You're dating a girl and she's not close to you. She's just not feeling it, and you just can't figure out why. It's not fair, is it? It doesn't feel good. And you need to be humble and think of this from a woman's perspective. It's not right. Would you want some guy to just be dating your daughter, and in the back of his mind he's thinking other women are prettier than her? Hell no. So how are you doing that to another man's daughter? Have some damn standards and principles that you hold yourself accountable to. This is what it all comes down to. It's like, sure, you get a free pass when you're in your teens, maybe your early 20s, but guys, once you start to really get older and more mature as a man, you've got to start filling in your knowledge gap, or you're just going to bleed over everyone, and this is the problem. Hurt people hurt people. And men and women who have knowledge gaps, esteem issues, problems, who they have good intentions, they want to date, they want to find love, but they don't have the right blueprint to follow. They're not following what is true, what works. This is the end result. You see what happened to Corey Wayne and his ex-wife, and this client is 7 months in with this girl and he's wasting his time. They're not even a couple. And he's like, I'm finding other girls prettier. It's just not fair. But you can always walk away. No one has a gun to your head. There's no arranged marriage. You can leave. Better late than never.
We get married, and then I broke her heart anyways. So it's just because I was young and I was weak and I was inexperienced. But deep down, I always knew. I'm very unsure of what to do, and I don't want to hurt her, but I also don't want to. I also want a girl who knocks my socks off, like you explained in your book. Yeah, it's if I had stayed with her, I would have never been the father I could have been. I would have never become the man I could have been. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now, that's for sure. And my life would have been completely different. And all the I wrote about in the book and that I've had since, it's like I would have never had those life experiences. And I wouldn't have had those life experiences that gave me wisdom that I can share with you guys so you can learn from it so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. He says, so any advice would be greatly appreciated. Thank you, sir, for all you do. Well, like I said, you already know what you're feeling. You know, it was an old Bonnie Raitt song from the, I think it was late 80s, early 90s. You can't make, I can't make you love me. I can't make your heart feel something it doesn't feel. That's life. Sometimes those things are going to happen. If you love somebody, if you really truly care for them, if she really is great to you, and deep down you don't see her as a mother of your children, you don't want to be with her. Again, really truly loving somebody and caring for them, you want them to be happy, even if that means they're not with you. Because if you stay with somebody you're not that into, you're just not going to make the effort that you need to keep the passion in the relationship alive and sustain it. So I've seen lots of couples that stay together and do what you did, and it usually ends up with both of them being obese and fucking their kids up, and their kids get obese, and they're miserable because it's like once you settle in any area of your life, especially a main area like this, it affects everything: your career, your ability to be a successful entrepreneur, taking care of your body. I mean, think about it. If somebody lights you up on the inside, you're going to be more inclined to take better care of yourself and eat right and exercise. But if they don't light you up on the inside, the longer you're together, it's like, what's the point? Why care? They don't light you up on the inside. You feel you don't have, because when you really truly love somebody and they love you and you want to be with them, you'll take better care of yourself. You'll want to become a more successful man because of the abundance that it brings into both of your lives. But if she's not lighting you up on the inside, you're settling for being a mediocre man. And we're all about peak performance. I mean, the title of the book is Winning the Heart of the Woman of Your Dreams. And so it's not how to settle for somebody that's mediocre and that doesn't light you up on the inside. So it's, like I said, it's just better to rip the Band-Aid off, do what you need to do, get past it, because in the end you'll feel better. And especially someday when you hear that she's with somebody that really lights her up on the inside and who feels the same way, you're like, that's very satisfying. That's what true, mature love is all about. Loving somebody to the point where you want them to be happy, even if it's not with you. So if you got...
Yeah, and that's ultimately the end of his case study. He's going to start talking about his stuff. And yeah, ultimately I think Corey's given very good advice to the client. Like, he shared a very good story from his own life with his ex-wife and why it didn't work out. And in essence, this would be the future that would await him if he goes further with this girl. And with this client, you can see he's like dulling his discernment. And the longer you stay in something lukewarm, a situationship like this is not even a relationship, the harder it becomes to recognize the real thing when it finally appears, because you've just conditioned yourself to settle, to lower your standards. And he's choosing to stay out of fear, not out of true desire. He's afraid of being alone. He's afraid of losing her because she's good, she's a sweet girl. And it's like some emotional scarcity, you could say, with him. And he's talking about it like a resume. There's no passion, there's no excitement. Again, 7 months, no relationship. She's not even saying I love you. Even though she desires him, she can obviously sense something's amiss. We're obviously only going off of the information we have. But I think if you guys are in a situation like this, and if you even have to ask yourself that question, oh, she's a great girl, but she doesn't knock my socks off, should I stay or should I go? There's your answer. It's time to leave. Because when you know she's a good match for you, it's 100% clarity. And when you meet the right woman, it feels like striking gold. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about me and some people I know. I know one of my friends, he's a guy who, growing up with him, he had quite a promiscuous past, but he's healed, he's done a lot of work on himself. And he met a really sweet girl, I think about a year and a half ago, and he called me up one day and he was talking to me as if he bought Bitcoin in 2008, but had the future foresight to go back to the past and buy, right? And that's the level of passion and intensity you should be speaking with, because this isn't just like a buddy or you made a bit of money. This should be like you've struck gold, like this has changed your life. Finding the right woman should be like, whoa, this is amazing. And that's exactly how he was talking. Oh, Christian, I love her, she's amazing, she's sweet, I really desire her. And and they're still together. They seem pretty happy together. I'm very proud of him. I know one of my clients who got married last year. I mean, he followed my work in my community, my book, my courses, everything. He applied what I teach. When he met his girl and he joined me in my group calls and he messaged me, he's a very quiet guy. He spoke with such passion, same thing, as if he struck gold. He was like, this is literally perfect. And you can see the complete contrast with their reactions in this client. Oh, she's nice, but I find the girl's prettier. No, right? Their whole energy changes. They're happy, they're passionate when they talk about it. It's not logical. Yes, everything's good. She ticks all the boxes. She has no red flags. She's a good woman. Yes, everything is good. They're not speaking like a robot. They speak with soul. If there's emotion, there's feeling involved. You can feel the excitement in their voice. And I've noticed when guys don't have that excitement in their voice, I already know it's not going to work out. And I've seen it with clients and other guys who, they're dating a girl maybe for a few weeks or a few months, and they don't have that excitement for the girl. It's just all like logical, or like something's amiss, and it just fizzles out. I can think back in the past, my relationships that didn't work out, I was like more so, I could tell. Like Corey said, there's something missing, and you're lying to yourself. And the Bible even tells us, right? A virtuous woman who can find her prize is far above rubies. Like, she does good to him all the days of his life and no harm. Like, when you have an amazing woman, you just know from her words and actions, being around her, it's like everything is aligned. It's that chemistry and compatibility equals this emotional alignment, you could say. It's peace, it's excitement, it's clarity, and it's gratitude all at once. You can be open and vulnerable, and it just feels great. But when a guy tells me, yeah, Christian, I've been seeing this girl, she's good, everything's great, and his tone is flat, there's no passion, I already know how that story's going to end. Because this isn't some random person you're talking about. This is supposedly going to be the mother of your children, a woman you want to be deep inside of, a woman you want to hold, a woman you want to look at and be intimate with for the rest of your life. If that doesn't bring out any passion in you, either you have serious emotional problems that you need to work on, or you're with the wrong woman. I even know myself when I met my girl Stacy. I mean, from when we started talking, vetting, going on our calls, then from our first date. I remember when I came back home and I called one of my best friends and I was like, dude, you couldn't even ask him. The passion in my voice, it was like I struck gold. I was like, man, she is. Obviously, I teach this chemistry compatibility. It's all in my book for free. You can download it. Link in the description. But I spoke with a strong intensity. I was like, whoa, this girl has everything. And it wasn't from a place of limerence or like lust or heightened emotions or fantasy. I had accurately vetted her. Everything was aligned. And I was like, whoa, this girl is fantastic. Guys, wow, I'm telling you. And it's always been that way since then. Our connection's only gotten better and stronger. I love her dearly. I've only got eyes for her. So does she. She tells me all the time, you're so handsome, I'm so lucky to have you. She cooks, she bakes, she nurtures me, she spoils me, she buys me things. I mean, she really treats me like a king. But I also treat her well as well. It's mutual. And that is when everything is aligned. Even to this day, she's still the most beautiful woman, and I've been with her for years. I love her, I desire her. And that's exactly what I teach. I want you guys to experience that. Real relationships get better with time, but settling ones slowly die. So if you're dating someone and she's not bringing out the best in you, it doesn't push you to be a better man, there's no spark, you're not excited, you don't have this passion or drive or like, whoa, she's the one for me. Don't force it. Don't try and convince yourself something's amiss. And that's the difference between settling and choosing right. If she was the right woman, you'd know. You wouldn't even have to ask. And like this client was telling us in the video here, he kind of knew. Yeah, I find other girls more attractive. I'm not that attracted to her. There was a client in my community who was he was with a girl. He kind of settled for her. He's always been a loyal guy, but he ended up cheating on her. He said he couldn't help himself from having a wandering eye because he just didn't find her that attractive. I know it's not an excuse. Infidelity is infidelity, but I do firmly believe a lot of these couples where there's cheating involved, they just settled. There's just a deficiency in their relationship or marriage that they just can't, that their husband or wife or boyfriend or girlfriend can't satiate because the desire isn't there. And yet you'll settle and end up miserable with your unmet needs. Well, it goes down that way, unfortunately. It's really sad. Desire should be mutual, it has to be. None of this red pill or feminist. He should love you more than you love him, or guys, she should love you more than you love her. No, it should be mutual. You both want each other just as much. So you invest just as much and you grow together as a couple. That's what I have. That's what I experience, and it's fantastic. And it's what I teach you guys to have. My blueprint is in my book. It's in my community. I'll leave the link down below. You can take a look. But I'm just making a point here because you don't want to be that guy who's wasting a woman's time, who's hurting her, you don't really desire her, and you're going along with it because you know she's kind of good. She's a sweet girl. It's better than nothing. Even learn from Corey Wayne's mistake. He settled for his ex-wife and he really started to learn after that, like, I shouldn't do that again. Let that be a lesson. You don't have to get to that point where you marry a girl and divorce her or get into a relationship or break up with her. You can kind of figure this out in the early stages of courtship. A couple weeks, maybe a month in. You don't have to become a couple yet, but if you know what you're doing, you're paying attention to it. If you have to ask yourself, hey, I've been with this girl for 4 months, how do I know if she's right for me? Your answer is pretty clear that she's not. You should know effecto immediately. Days, weeks in getting to know each other. Once you've gone through a few basic questions, her words and actions seem to align, you know whether you desire her or not. You know whether your eyes are wandering or not. Do not deceive yourself. Hold yourself to higher standards, work on your esteem, and you'll get to a place where you'll be able to discern better. And if that's what you want help with, I invite you to join my community, where this is in essence what I teach guys to do. Courses, my book, everything is all in here, and I'd love to really help you on your relationship journey to fill in your knowledge gap and have a great girl. Having a great girl that knocks your socks off, it's so important. Because if you get that wrong, as Corey said, it's going to affect everything. Your business, your career, your health. Stop taking care of yourself. It's just you've got one foot in the grave. Life is already hard enough. Life is full of problems and stresses and drama. But your relationship, your marriage, it should be a sanctuary. It should be not just peace, but passion, excitement, joy, the love of your life, the woman you have the most fun with, your favorite person should be your girl. The person you trust your most should be her. And if you don't know how to experience that, and you don't have the right knowledge to get there, you'll never get that. This is why a lot of men and women are frustrated, they're bitter, they blame the opposite sex. You know, there's good ones and bad ones. If you don't know how to distinguish, you're going to end up bitter. I'm at least going to give you the tools to figure out how to disqualify the ones that are not right and how to assess and vet the ones who are, so that you have clarity and peace of mind and make a better decision in your love life. So with that said, that's been the video. Let me know what your thoughts are. My free ebook, link down below. My community, link down below. Or you can head over to the About page on my channel. Head over to my website. All the links are there. And with that said, let me know what you think. I figured it'd be a good idea to share Corey's video. He's been a mentor of mine. I've been following his work going back 10 years. long time ago, since I was a very young man. With that said, let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll see you all in the next one.